Indonesia, Tzu Chi's poverty alleviation project in Bandung has already held a house handover ceremony. During the pandemic, Taiwan's self-sufficiency rate is low and possibly facing a food shortage crisis. Welcome to DaAi Headlines, I'm Simon Gan. Thank you for joining us. In Indonesia, Tzu Chi's poverty alleviation project in Bandung has already held a house handover ceremony, and 11 families get to move into their new homes. Let's take a look.
At the moment of the signing the contract, residents can have a shelter from the wind and rain.
This is Tzu Chi's help. Not only did Tzu Chi provide assistance to us during the epidemic, but also Tzu Chi has been assisting us and build us houses through poverty alleviation projects. This is very helpful for our residents.
The keys and blessings are given to 7 households of the Makasali village and 4 households of the Sakajaya village.
We hope that the housing assistance will help the residents to live a safe and prosperous life.
A 30 square meter house includes a bedroom, kitchen, living room, and bathroom. The 41-year-old Pumana looked around each corner with satisfaction.
I'm very grateful. My current housing has improved. We are not as poor as before. I want to thank Tzu Chi for helping me and my family.
34-year-old Iwi works as a tailor and likes to keep the environment clean.
Mungkin nanti saya rawat dengan baik-baik.
I will take good care of this house. In the past, the roof and walls of my previous house have leaked.
Mikirin ya atapnya bocor gitu.
Now that I moved here to live and my life has improved.
Pada rusak, dindingnya sekarang udah bagus.
Tzu Chi's poverty alleviation plan is to help residents live in peace and security.
In Malaysia, as the epidemic is slowly under control, the government has relaxed its movement control order. Therefore, TIMA members mobilized to provide house calls for impoverished families. They also cared for a paralyzed patient, teaching him to do rehabilitation exercises.
Fadili, who is bedridden, has gone through a car accident in January, leading to his paralysis. His entire family has since been facing difficulties.
We cannot afford the medical fees. Therefore, I decided to bring my child back. Another reason for us to do so is that the hospital was unwilling to transport him to Johor Bahru.
For several months, Fadili's father has felt helpless about his paralyzed son's situation. Then TIMA members came to visit and brought changes.
If it is possible, he should do complete sets of rehabilitation. When his father is home, he should do it as many times as possible. With the help of his family, he would be better off doing it more times, maybe once in the morning, once at noon, and once at night, or at least twice a day.
As Fadili does rehabilitation continuously, his health condition improves, giving hope to his family.
Saya berbanyak-banyak ucapkan terima kasihlah kepada Tzu Chi.
I want to thank Tzu Chi and the volunteers for bringing the doctors to help my son.
Thank you for helping my family get through the difficult times. I hope with your help, my brother's health will improve. I hope he can be as healthy as before.
Meanwhile, Meng Azang, who has just gone through appendicitis surgery in March, could not go back to see the doctors because of movement control order.
Due to the movement control order, he could not ride a motorcycle to get his wound cleansed, so he just left it. You can see that after nearly 2 months, his wound has not yet healed.
His wound is swelling. Fortunately, with TIMA members' help, Meng Azang could finally cleanse his wound at the hospital.
He had a bacterial infection after his appendicitis surgery, leading to his problems. If it could have come 1 or 2 weeks earlier, there would have been less side effects. I've been without work for 2 months. Life is very difficult and I am not well off. Thank you very much.
TIMA doctors' house calls have provided timely help for underprivileged families, safeguarding their health.
In Keelung, Taiwan, Tzu Chi volunteers made vegetarian zongzi to share with the community, the hospitals, and other organizations. Let's take a look.
上人一直跟他讲非输不可，才能够救好这个地球。
The aroma of the glutinous dumpling fills the air as Tzu Chi Keelung liaison office volunteers began prepping for this treat 2 weeks ago.
The kitchen volunteers are very dedicated to this task, as when they're making each one, they harbor kind thoughts and hope that each person who received the zongzi can enjoy a healthy snack.
这次的疫情的关系啊，所以我们在
Due to this period, we have been promoting vegetarianism for the last 2 months. So for the Dragon Boat Festival, we thought to make a vegetarian zongzi to share with everyone, and they can enjoy the tasty vegetarian snack.
A student from Tzu Chi's Chinese painting class, Miao Li Shang, had no luck in securing a pre-order, but was finally able to find some on this day she attended class.
I buy some each year. This year's vegetarian zongzi is better than last year. I wish everyone can enjoy this nutritious and healthy treat.
营养，然后健康。
The humidity of the kitchen is unbearable for most, but these volunteers don't mind it as they are doing this for a greater cause.
Tainan Tzu Chi volunteer Wang Baoyu was originally from Penghu. He used the chance of visiting his hometown to host a community tea event to promote vegetarianism to the local seniors.
Local street artists played the saxophone and the vibe is cheerful. Tzu Chi volunteers lead everyone to sing along folk songs. Grandma Yue Zhao, who was sitting on a wheelchair, became energetic and got up to sing together.
Coming here to get together with everyone and chat and laugh together has made me very satisfied.
I can't imagine that in the Xinchen community, everyone has responded to us so passionately. We also felt full of Dharma joy.
The MC Wang Baoyu is a Tzu Chi volunteer from Tainan. His hometown was in Penghu, so every year he returned to visit his relatives. This time he brought a team to host a community tea event and received great responses.
Cultivate your heart and your love. We hope to cultivate you with good thoughts and vegetarian diets.
Other than accompanying seniors, what's more important is to promote vegetarianism. Pan Pingyou has convinced a whole family to adopt vegetarian diets together.
Why eating a vegetarian diet? If my body is well, my descendants will have no worries. If their bodies are well, then we also have no worries. I truly love my family, so I eat a vegetarian diet.
Eating a vegetarian diet is not only healthy but can also do good deeds. Volunteers have raised great recognitions promoting vegetarianism in Penghu.
Next, we take a look at Taipei's Tzu Chi volunteer Zheng Huanfeng, who invited several friends to work together to make high-quality multi-grain European bread to collect money to purchase epidemic prevention supplies.
The unit price is $5. Supervisors from different departments come to buy.
As soon as I knew about this news, saying that our Tzu Chi Foundation had already donated so much money to help the epidemic, I also wanted to contribute my part. Plus, I like bread very much, so I bought 20 pieces.
The best raw materials are used. All the ingredients are written on the right board.
No additives or modifiers.
Basically, we only add a little salt in the bread without adding sugar.
Each dough weighs 500 grams exactly and has to be neat and shaped. Volunteers were Northern European bread makers originally and had missed some procedures before.
At first, the bread was very hard. I was puzzled how come the bread was so hard. Then I went back to read books again and realized that a second fermentation is needed.
In less than half an hour, the European-style country nut bread is fresh from oven. The leader is Zheng Huangfeng, who is 66 years old.
Because I usually do it at home for my breakfast. It would be great if I can make it for charity.
The world can donate money, whereas we contribute our efforts.
At most, we can make nearly 400 pieces a day.
The little space of about 30 square meters has become the base for raising funds to help fight the epidemic.
During the pandemic, when countries close off their borders to exports and imports, the food supply chain is something that needs to be taken into consideration. During this time, Taiwan's self-sufficiency rate is under scrutiny as it's low and possibly facing a food shortage crisis.
Taiwan's rice self-sufficiency rate has declined from 109.6% in 2002 to 91.9% in 2010. Does Taiwan have enough rice domestically in the face of this pandemic?
If the pandemic situation doesn't improve and continues to worsen, even if we don't import wheat, our rice supplies in storage is enough to eat for a whole year.
Although in theory Taiwan has enough rice to last, citizens don't just eat rice to fill their stomachs. If we take a look at Taiwan's self-sufficiency rate for wheat, it's only 0.1%, while soybeans are 0.2% and corn is at 2.8%.
Taiwan's food self-sufficiency rate has two aspects. One is how much of the 1,000 calories a day does our island produce. We are at 32.6%, at most 33%. In 2014, the Council for Agriculture set up the goal of 40% self-sufficiency rate by 2020. But now that we are here, no one is willing to reflect.
Wu Hongming starts the machine early in the morning so he may finish grinding the 100 kilograms of wheat into powder. The wheat harvested in the late spring has been collected and it needs to be milled into powder before it can be turned into flour products.
In a day, we can mill about 600 kilograms. If we need to rush, we can do 750 kilograms.
The golden wheat fields cover Erling of Zhanghua to Tainan. That area is also the biggest producer of wheat in the country. Shi Minghuang is the person in charge of Rejoice Bread Workshop, a shelter workshop helping the handicapped. And as flour is the bakery's most important resource, he thought to begin farming his own wheat after experiencing numerous flour hikes on the international market. After some deep research, Shi discovered Taiwan is soon facing a shortage on food self-sufficiency rate. In 2007, Shi began to partner up with local farmers to grow wheat. And in more recent years, the partnership has expanded to soybeans and other grains, doing his part in increasing the self-sufficiency rate of Taiwan.
When farmers have multiple crops, the environment will have multiple ecologies because the different crops will change the ecology.
Mid-May is barley season for Taiwan. These stalks waving in the wind are domestic barley grown in Zhanghua, which is also a partner farm of Shi Minghuang. Tending to the barley farm and retired from the military, Hong Chunlian began as a wheat farmer. and can't say he's increased much of Taiwan's food self-sufficiency rates, but it's a good beginning of the grain revival movement.
During this time, every country has their own protective policy and has closed their exporting doors. In Taiwan, most of our food is imported, since Taiwan's self-sufficiency rate is low, especially in the grain category.
Rejoice Bread has been partnering up with different farms since 2007, and in 2013 has even formed a contract model for partnership, which expanded to other grains now. Now they have even built their own granary. Taiwan's food sufficiency is established based on normal import conditions, but if a pandemic or war hits and breaks the supply chain, then can Taiwan's current low food self-sufficiency rate, along with a limited variety of food, still provide for its people? It is definitely a question to face and reflect upon during this COVID period.
As the epidemic slows down, Tzu Chi volunteers in Colombo, Sri Lanka once again launched a recycling event to save the earth, with the local Tzu Shaos participating together. Let's take a look.
The Colombo Tzu Chi Recycling Day is being hosted with a number of Tzu Shaos and their classmates, making the event very lively. Due to the coronavirus, Colombo Tzu Chi volunteers have suspended recycling for 3 months, though everyone is quite familiar with the process. They rely upon their own understanding of recycling to teach young people how to sort and classify different materials.
Now there are young people joining in. We need to let them know the importance of recycling and the 5 R's. We look forward to promoting the concept of environmental protection through this group of young people.
Imitating the rules and methods learned in Taiwan and Malaysia, local volunteers clearly state the importance of doing recycling for the environment. They also believe that it is important for children to learn while doing this work, giving them deep experience.
We must consider whether it is harmful to the earth, so we must recycle and collect recyclable resources for the recycling center instead of simply just throwing things away.
If we throw these resources into nature, it will cause carbon dioxide to pollute the air.
Caring for the earth starts from a young age. This will allow green hills and green fields to be passed down from generation to generation, creating a beautiful legacy for future generations.
In Singapore, the schools have implemented home-based learning due to the pandemic. However, not every child can learn well due to the conditions at home. Tzu Chi took the advantage of the early midterm break in May to provide online tutoring for the care recipients' children. Let's take a look.
Because the HPL make the class go a little bit slower, so I worried that we cannot revise properly for the PSLE.
To be in line with the epidemic prevention measures, Singapore students have been staying at home for home-based learning for 1 month since April.
Change present perfect tense to past perfect tense.
Taking advantage of the early midterm break, teachings provide online tuition to the children of care recipients.
Under the condition of home-based learning, if the family is not well off, it is quite difficult for the parents to urge their children to complete the coursework. We hope to have these Tzu Chi brothers and sisters to assist in the children's study so as to help them solve any academic problems temporarily.
Other than Chinese, English and mathematics, there are also games and handicrafts. Through the monitor, 44 Chi Cheng's brothers and sisters assist children in learning in 2:1 ratio.
We worked on the worksheets that I haven't finished because I was not sure how to answer. Then my mentor teach me a method to find the answers easier, and I love people.
Even though certain questions you don't understand, they take their time and with the patience they try to explain to her. Really, it's not a small work, it's not a small help, it's a very, very great help from them.
During the epidemic, this online tuition is a timely assistance, allowing children to learn continuously without being interrupted.
New immigrant Huang Si came to Taiwan at the age of 21. She has been here now for 17 years, and a night school teacher introduced her to Tzu Chi as she later became a donating member. Her daughter also excelled well in her academics, breaking the stereotype others have on the children of new immigrants.
Kìa, bà hỏi nữa rồi, có nhớ con không?
This video call helps keep the family closer together.
My parents miss me. They have lost lots of weight. I was quite sad when I went to see them. My greatest wish is to bring them closer to me as I can better care for them.
She came to Taiwan 17 years ago, and through the encouragement of her father-in-law, she has undertaken a totally different life.
The person that gave me the most support when I came to Taiwan was my husband's father. He encouraged me to study the language, computers, photography, and Chinese calligraphy.
After these studies and a commitment to doing charitable works, a night school teacher introduced her to Tzu Chi, and now she is often with her daughter participating in such activities.
Pulling the weeds is like pulling out our troubles, so I think I want to take my children to do this and experience it together.
The first time I came to Tzu Chi, this place gave me a very warm feeling. After coming to participate in the courses here, I feel very at home here.
For example, the Tzu Chi class, the previous parent-child growth class, she has perfect attendance.
Her daughter won all kinds of awards, and her compassion are all based on the fine example set by her mother.
I feel that many people believe the children of foreigners will do poorly on their homework and their spoken Chinese will not be good either. So I want to work hard to break through these stereotypes and really study hard.
This mother and daughter team have worked hard together to make a good life in a foreign country with both kindness and wisdom.
A few Hualien local artists and curators joined hands to host a charity exhibition that conveys the beauty of local arts and culture. They used the Hualien blue as the theme, and in hopes that more and more can feel the spirit that's within the Hualien's people and the landscape.
The color blue makes one think of sky or ocean. Hualien is near the Pacific Ocean, and the vivid color of blue can be seen everywhere here. Therefore, 4 local artists and 3 curators hosted an exhibition called Feel the Blue of Hualien.
We hope that everyone can come to appreciate the blue sky and ocean in Hualien, also come to experience the courage of local people.
Why courage? She mentioned it's because one of the artists, Simon Gan, has an impressive story of courage. When he was 15, he was paralyzed due to a car accident. 25 years later, he picked up the painting brush by his mouth to pursue his art dreams.
Every picture's got a lot of blue color. I missed that in the past. I can go to the beach to look at the blue sky and the ocean, as well as listen to the sea sound. It made me forget many of my negative emotions.
Simon Gan's painting teacher Shen Tingshan is also one of the artists in the exhibition. He used Chinese ink painting skills to show the minimal but magnificent beauty of Hualien.
I hope that with my simple brushes I can express my ideal. I want the picture to be clear but powerful. Only when it's not complicated, one can see more of the effect of the brush and ink. I sprayed the blue color on it so it has stronger visual effects because it symbolized the magnificent spirit of mountains and sea in Hualien.
No matter what difficulties you encounter in life, everyone can have a second chance to dream again. Through the exhibition, they invite the public to come experience the strength of life and power of arts.
Hualien Prison worked together with Tzu Chi Foundation to visit the families of the inmates to send their wishes and aid supplies during the Dragon Boat Festival. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you and goodbye.